How's it going? Hope everyone is doing well and finding their way in today's wild world. I want to talk about children, youth in general, and really that means that we need to have a discussion about parenting. My recommendation is get your child away from their cell phone. Get your child away from the computer and get your children outdoors. Get them hiking, biking, fishing, swimming, kicking a ball, throwing a ball, stacking lumber, maybe even shooting. Some of you out there are hunters or family of hunters, okay? Good stuff. Get their hands out there in the dirt, get their hands on some trees, a little bit of pitch, a little sap, maybe a splinter or two. Give them something to do. They are going to learn on a deep level about what it means to interact with their environment and what it means to have some work ethic. And they may never understand it until later in life, but when it kicks in, it will be their reserve tank that they can rely on when things get tough. You can see behind me here that we are putting in the water line for the cabin, and my kids, Benjamin and Willa, are happily helping Dad put pipe in the trench. Pretty fun. The sooner you get a shovel, a hammer, a nail, a saw into the hands of your children, the sooner they begin to grow and the sooner they begin to become creative. Also coupled with good interaction from mom and dad, be there and make sure they're doing things safely. Talk to them about why we use certain tools and help them to turn on the creativity. Get them exposed to music. Get them exposed to art, pen and ink, watercolor, you name it. Any kind of arts or crafts, and just get in there and have fun. And I am talking as early as possible. You have to remember that a child's play is how they work. That's what they do. They're working. And while you may not think it as an adult, you're doing the same thing. You just have more resistance to wanting to do it than you used to. And something definitely happens when you go to work for money. It really changes why you're doing something. So again, nobody said it was easy, and everyone has a very busy life these days. But it is high time we get involved with the children, with our children in a good way, and help them to get their hands on Mother Nature and get their hands on some tools of all kinds. And maybe a time to start weaning ourselves off of the digital addiction. Good job. I would just encourage all parents to remember that parenting is hard work sometimes. Before we lose sight of parenting and think that we're here to be our child's best friend, we need to check ourselves. And we need to make sure that we're actually parenting. That's not easy to do. I get it. But it has to be done. Your child will learn to feel secure when you set good, constructive boundaries. Very often that means saying no or holding them accountable for things they're doing wrong. Okay? This creates a healthy mindset and creates healthy habits into the future. I absolutely hated working with my dad when I was young. I hated it. For many, many years I hated it. Granted, I got started probably around 5 or 6 years old. My dad made me do pretty hard work. I was doing labor, manual labor, and that went on well into my teens, into my early 20s. And I've got to say, I wouldn't have traded it for the world. And it took me until my 30s before I started to appreciate what my dad had done for me. My mom and my dad. They made sure that I had a healthy work ethic, and honestly, I don't think there's a single thing better that could have been done for me. My parents instilled in me a healthy work ethic and the very real fact that I am here to take care of myself. And I needed to learn how to do that and become self-reliant. And I needed to be able to give back and be a positive coworker with the people around me. It was a huge lesson, and it is something that can be relearned throughout one's lifetime. So again, get out there, get those kids in the dirt, get them in the lake, in the river, get them in contact with animals, and watch the lights go on. Watch them awaken. Put some tools in their hands and just watch what happens. Watch what happens. Start early. 5 years old is not too early. Get it done, and God bless.